Hello, it's growingyourgreens.com to do another exciting episode for you. We're here at the world headquarters of Boogie Brew and their shipping super center here where they ship out lots of packages every single day. I see a whole stack going out to customers. But we're here with Josh today because I know you guys love Josh so much. And Josh, what are we going to rant about today? Because you and I both agree on this topic.
It's great to agree and not to agree to disagree.
Yeah, because sometimes we're frenemies and we don't agree on a lot of other things, but we do agree on this. And we want you to know this because the wool is literally being pulled over your head on this topic.
It is.
In standard organic industry, actually.
Amen. The standard, the SAD, the SAI, whatever, yeah. Standard American diet, standard American industry, SAI, BS. But going back to the frenemy, the French trust the people who squabble publicly and sort their poop out, right? We're stronger for it, right? So actually, it's bloom time.
It's bloom time, yeah.
It's bloom time. It's bloom
And what
season.
do people need to know about bloom time, Josh?
The first thing they need to know is to not trust the standard American industry, or standard world industry at this point. Certainly the standard grow industry, standard hydro industry, BS.
Okay, BS. So, we know you talk about detrients, and some people out there have issues with you calling them detrients.
They're dead. They kill the effing microbes in your soil. How are they not detrients? How can something that's packaged from oil and gas, from fracking? Most of the fertilizers are made from this.
What?
Frack.
How are minerals from fracking, Josh?
Oh my God. Don't get me started. Okay, so it's a carbon-based atom. That makes it organic ultimately, huh? Those chemotocracy's finest, purest detrient wares for you. We're not even going to really talk about detrients because Boogie Brew can't have any detrients near its facilities. We only sell living soil, high-octane
full food based for your plants.
Right.
We want to eat real food. We don't eat processed food.
Yeah.
You don't want to put processed fertilizers on your plants because guess what? If you eat processed food, you're going to get sick, you're going to be sickly, you're going to get disease. And the same thing happens for your plants, guys. If you feed it chemical fertilizers like man's trying to reinvent plant foods in bottles, right? That's from the hydro store, right?
Bottles.
That are extracted out of whole foods. Your plants are never going to be as healthy as their real diet, what they should subsist on in nature. If you guys can't agree with that, then you might want to look for another channel. But nonetheless, even things that exist in nature, some of them are not as healthy as they should or could be, and in my opinion and Josh's, should be avoided.
Yeah, my whole point about the standard American industry, if we can coin such an SAI phrase, is, and that was freaking awesome rant. And that kind of passion, And what don't you see on here? You don't see any plastic.
No, right here, plastic.
Mylar. Okay, organic ag products with your pure kelp. All right. Little room for improvement. Little room. By the way, you negotiated this deal, and this is an amazing product.
This is an amazing product.
We're going to talk about this.
It in a minute.
Okay. So the whole thing with the standard grow industry practice, whether it's disgusting detrients made from
wherever they're made from,
right, from fossil fuels that kill the microbes in your soil, sold to you at only a dummy buys detrients, idiot price.
And dummies eat standard American diet and junk food and fast food and processed food. But a lot of you guys probably are, unfortunately. I want you guys to eat real food that you grew yourself, including your cannabis, which I ate my own yesterday.
John, let's agree to disagree. I think most of GYG's viewers are not on a SAD. They are not.
I would hope so.
They are not on a standard American diet.
I would hope so.
So we want to hear that, by the way, your feedback on your diet. Okay.
Yeah, and then what's your plant's diet?
Right, okay, right. So we're here to talk about the plant diet, the standard American industry, the standard American grow industry, saggy, whatever you want to call it. BS of, you gotta stick to some schedule. You gotta feed them what the manufacturer tells you at week 5 and week 7, as we're into now in bloom, which is, it's BS, okay? Throw all that out the window.
So schedules are out the window.
Schedules are for dummies.
Yeah, so like eating at 8, noon, and 5, my opinion, that's for dummies. Do you really need to eat at 8, noon, and 5? No, we should eat when we're hungry. When we have the urge, like, dude, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. Like, why have to eat around? Now, you shouldn't eat too close to bed.
You mean 8 a.m.?
Yeah.
Well, I'm never up at that time. So how am I going to eat?
But nonetheless, so we need to just get off schedules for eating for us and also for our plants.
Well, John, put a link, Sandra, if you could post a quick to the 9/11 video, which is what we're about to talk about, field-based farming.
So 9/11 video link down below.
Follow the 9/11 rules. Wait for the parts per million in your soil to dip down to 1100.
That's when your plants are getting hungry.
Really hungry in flower. This is flower stage. You get down to 1100. Now it's time to figure out how and when to apply another 9. $2,000 is plenty. 2,000 ppms? Are you kidding me? Why did I just say 2,000 is plenty? A brand new bag of Ocean and Forest by Fox Farm actually measures out now below 2100, even 1900, and honestly, that is plenty to ever need to feed your plants. Now, John, before I go on, let me just tell your viewers, TD this year, I offered to sponsor him with this, what we're about to discuss, sensible, vegan version of a Bloom superfood for his plants. Guess what he told me?
He said, I don't need it. Because TD don't need it.
He need nothing.
Because here's the thing, guys. If you set it up properly from the get-go and feed your soil and do what TD does, if you don't know who TD is, links down below in my last video, where just in a few months he had these huge trees, and links down to the seasons down below. 2 seasons I visited his place, showing you guys all his techniques he does. So then you're immune from having to buy Bloom shit because you're rocking and rolling.
TD has everything invested in his holes in the ground. TD's a living legend, bro. This is so cool. Even Boogie Brew, as much of a BBCer, bicycling, BSing, and cannabising, I still have to at least release a few videos per season of what that MFer is doing with his plants.
Yeah, so if you want updates, because I'm probably not going to get the TDs again this season, hit up Josh's channel at Boogie Brew, because Josh will have updates, because I know you guys have been wanting updates. Go to Josh, he'll have more of them than I will.
You're about to visit a very busy dad, Super Seth, with his, God bless him for being a new father. Congratulations, many happy returns, Super Seth. I'm proud of you, but he has his little busy dad's garden. I'm going to go visit TD tonight with Leah and his guzzlers, by the way. She's 7 feet tall, but let me give you a clue,
Dude,
John.
you got pictures?
You know what? No, I don't. Yeah, he did send me guzzlers. Yeah, I do. We have a 7-foot plant. That's a very manageable plant by TD standards.
7 foot tall.
Yeah, but 14 wide.
14 wide. Check it out. Show them.
Yeah.
All right, we'll throw the picture
Yeah,
up
we'll
for
get
you
it
guys,
up there.
so you guys can't see it.
And then he sent me, this one, is she guzzlers already? She's guzzling. Anyway, he sent me white hairs. Like, we're talking 12 days old, like bone white hairs, bro. Huge, amazing. Yeah, like pre-flowers already. Look at that. Like, people would, there was a time back in the day when I would be proud of finishing with this.
And he's starting with it.
Yeah, he's starting with this in the flower.
Dude,
yeah.
Freaking...
His guzzler is 7 feet tall, 14 wide.
So it's genetics plus growing conditions expertise.
Thank you, Humboldt Seed Company. Anyways, and thank you, TD, for being a living effing legend. You know, and for showing people how when you're really addicted to growing cannabis, in spite of, you know, in at least Northern California, the lack of economic compensation for the number of hours this guy has into it, it's like myself with a titanium mountain bike, you know, and riding all the time and just getting the mileage out of his plants. That's what it's about. And the freaking living soil, the Steve Cantwell living soil, TD's, you know, tuned version, Master Mark, you know, amalgamy of living soil amazingness. that's feeding everything without even a cover crop last year. Like, he didn't even bother with clover or nothing last
But he
season.
did feed his last year's plants. He ground them up and then put them in the ground to feed his this year's plants last year.
Why wouldn't you do that when you have all that microbial matrix of mad probiotic activity and all the free aminos that are digestible from those hemp roots? By the way, I should show the viewers some of the walking sticks. Would you like? Yeah, let's show those. Pause.
All right, Josh, so what do you got here?
Dude, what do I got here? Look at this. If you can take this back on Spirit Airlines to Vegas.
Diagonally because it's so long.
I think this is last year, 2 years ago, his Gorilla Glue maybe. Like, these are his stalks. Now guess what? He didn't buy a single plastic jugged Dedrian to grow. I mean, these are proper, like, you know what I mean?
They're fighting sticks.
These are proper sticks. Exactly. Amen. Yeah. Like, come on. Success leaves clues, John. Follow these hemp stalk clues. All right. Not a single.
All right, Josh. So for people that aren't at TD's level, Josh, right, and then they feel they need to feed something for bloom, right? Why doesn't people use like this kind of stuff, man? This is what traditionally, this is like the rainbow mix, right?
Well,
and bone meal and stuff.
You know,
like what's up? Why can't people use that? I mean, that's what they would sell you at the grocery store if you don't want to use the chemicals.
If you don't want anything that's true Dedrian in a plastic jug, and you need to give your give your plants some bloom food, and indeed. Let's admit it, TD spoiled with his dedication and his monster.
But not everybody's there.
But you know what? He will probably still need to, at some point, even TD will need to add some of these goodies. I offered to sponsor him. God bless TD, the living legend, that uses Boogie Brew and Workhorse teas, and he gets sucanat from me, and just, again, he's showing you all how to do more with less. And that's what this is about. It's not plugging my new veganic bloom package.
But Josh, like the normal stuff people would use are from animals, from like literally slaughterhouses. So why shouldn't people use those? Like, I mean, if you're eating, hopefully you're eating real food. You're not getting GMO created food and food, you know, like meats and animal meats. If you are consuming meats from slaughterhouses and big CAFOs that are just
CAFOs,
horrible things.
A fancy name for factory farmed
farm meats being fed the cheapest, crappiest food, the animals not being treated well.
If the soil isn't a big enough biome that hasn't had enough, so he's claiming the reason he doesn't need any top dressings this year, John, is because of compost teas. And I love how he's not crediting Boogie Brew specifically, because I convinced him to take our Workhorse tea brewer, the Compost Tea Solutions, which is such a great brewer for making Workhorse teas, and make more of those. And prove my point, you don't need Boogie Brew. You do need to be what he is, an FBFer, a field-based farmer. You do need to be invested in your soil being your proper cash crop, which is what Steve Cantwell himself says. And the reason they shouldn't have to use this stuff to begin with is all contained within making that soil your currency. Now, to maintain that currency, John, to add those critical parts per million, and some people, like I just said, are not spoiled with 10-foot holes, or whatever in God's name TD has dug, and how many yards of amazing compost, castings, char, killer mastermark overall soil recipes, years and years and years of a living biome. The whole proof of living soil working versus Dedrian madness, or the organic, even schedule-fed version, is proven with what TD does. And what you do with your food boxes too, bro. Right there, in the Bay Area, right? So my point is, yes, invest in that soil like it's your living currency more than the crop you're trying to get out of it. It'll give you so much more mileage, right? If you do need to supplement, do it as clean and green and eco and as low impact as you can possibly be. And so the answer to the question you just asked a few minutes ago about why wouldn't you use the non-detrimental alternatives to for a bloom feed, if you need to, with the 9/11 rules, if those critical parts per million have dropped. Link below to the 9/11 video. This is going to get way too convoluted, okay? Why wouldn't you use these? Just go watch Steve Cantwell.
No, tell everybody right now without having...
Animal effing slaughterhouse byproducts. You're supporting what you just said, CAFO. BS. Why would you support that? That's the lesser of two utter evils. Is it fossil fuel, fracking derived, gas produced detrients in chemical form, or is it the disgusting practices of America's slaughterhouse addiction, John? Let's be real. God bless Down to Earth. I love them. We're about to feature them in our new Boogie Bloom box. The vegan mix, but they sell what you all asked for, which is bone meal too. You need to understand where this comes from. You can dig further, just research factory farming, or go watch a Steve Cantwell episode.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing is, as you move up the food chain, toxins accumulate. So, you know, there could be excess, I mean, they could be feeding, this is the convoluted whole part of this, is that they could basically take like manure or poop from the municipal city of like Los Angeles, they turn it into compost or like sewer sludge, right? Sewer sludge compost. Biosolids. They feed that to, you know, the corn, the soy. They grow that, and then they feed that corn and soy from the biosolids to the animals, and then they grind up animal bones, and then you get that. So it's like all in the capos and all these things, you know, they're doing things that the cheapest possible way to make the most money, and after they sell you the meat that you're eating at McDonald's, then they'll grind up the bones and sell it to bone meal so they can extract every last dollar from these poor animals that are having to needlessly suffer and die and eat terrible foods and also be contaminated during the whole process.
I have rarely seen you get this Josh level ranting, you know, we're on the same chemistry today.
Dude, you gotta get rid of the... I mean, if you have your own cows and you kill them, grind up their damn bones, man. Put that in your garden.
Amen. Amen. Do it, and that's what...
That's the real way, not the things where you just buy the mode meal and you're disconnected from where it came from that animal that had a face, right?
From a CAFO, from a plastic package, all of it. And again, like he said, trying to make money off a waste product of a disgusting, deceptive industry to begin with.
Yep. And you guys should avoid buying CAFO farm meats and products such as dairy and milks. If you do it, if you want to eat meat or have your own eggs or dairy, have your own goats, have your own cows, right? Harvest them yourself. That's what my belief is, because we need to be connected. And also, you know everything that went into them, so you're not contaminating yourself. You're going to provide the animal a good, healthy life, you know, and,
John,
and
you know,
do the best you can for them if you choose to eat them. Of course, I choose to not eat any animals because I don't think we need to.
But I think I was just interrupting to see how non-judgmental, when it's sustainable, this vegan is about your dedication to, and that's the way TD would do it. You know, go fishing, take the guts.
He does.
There's his, exactly.
He does. He does go fishing, use the guts that goes into his plants. I mean, another one of his secrets, we discussed that in one of the episodes.
Right, the best bone meal on the planet, fresh caught from the Pacific, unfortunately plasticized now. Let's not get into that. Each of us consuming a credit card, is it a credit card's worth per week now? At least per month. It's insane. It's so mind-boggling that the bigger the lie, the more it gets woven our lives, and the more we all just mindlessly... This is about the truth.
This is about the truth, and like they try to hide it from you. Oh, it's fancy bone meal. Oh, it's certified organic. Like, that makes it all right. No, it doesn't.
So many lame-ass bone meal, you know, just general CAFO industry concept.
Or just all the manure that's sold. I mean, go down to the local Home Depot. They have big bags of manure for 99. Well, they used to be 99 cents. I think they're maybe $1.50 now. but basically they're just trying to sell you their shit and get rid of it for a cheap price because they got so much damn of it.
It's a byproduct of an industry that
don't use that either.
It's a byproduct of an industry that shouldn't exist to begin with. It's so effing great to see you this fired up.
All right, so I mean that's just one element. Right. One element is the industry that you don't agree with, right. Non-sustainable. Just trying to extract every last dollar out of poor animals and creatures that live a horrible life when they are alive. And then let's not mention how it's going to affect your garden, potentially your health, because diseases can be transferred from animals to humans, but can't be transferred from plants to humans. So like I've heard people in like the UK using, you know, bone or blood meal and then getting some crazy diseases.
Prions.
Right, yeah, prions. But and then also the contamination issue where you're contaminating your soil with potentially heavy metals and other things. I mean, I think you guys should just avoid it. So that's why Josh has come up with a veganic or even plant-based alternative.
I want to credit another Josh, a true vegan hero who moved from the oil patch recently, I believe, to Idaho, a homesteading hero who gave up the corporatocracy to raise his family sustainably and to do it vegan. I mean, the guys like you, bro, he's so health is our wealth, and that's your only future. But anyway, going back to the alternative to the detrimental plastic jug regime, you heard our rant. Great chemistry on that. On bone meal. Well, now we have the rainbow mix that Boogie Brew was selling.
You were selling it?
Yeah, and Josh, he challenged me. Why are you selling that, bro? Your tea's vegan. Why you got your bloom box with animal slaughterhouse byproduct ingredients in it?
What was in it?
I told Josh, I said, Josh, I don't have the mental energy to create a whole new Boogie Bloom product that's free of these things. And all of those top dressing products that are on the market contain those evil animal slaughterhouse byproducts.
What are they, Josh? We know about bone meal, but what other ones are in there?
Feather meal.
Feather meal, all right.
From those chickens. Just go watch that Netflix. There's viral movies about, you know, the trouble with chickens and PB. Just go see. Yeah, most of your viewers are hip to all this. All right,
I don't know.
I disagree. We're gonna frenemies will agree.
But that's why we're disclosing it.
We want your feedback.
Feather meal, bone meal. What other things are in there?
Do those matter to you? Because they matter to Steve Cantwell. Success leaves clues. Follow the clues.
And also, too, I mean, they are more concentrated, too, so you could have
prions.
You could have an overage situation more quickly than with plants that are, you know...
It's definitely not going to kill your soil microbes, all right? That's where the lesser of two evils. Secondly, most of these are sold in dry, sensibly priced. Of course they're sensibly priced. I mean, they're byproducts of they're a waste byproduct, right? In biodegradable packaging, all right? So those are the pros. The cons are you're introducing that prion food chain. You have, at some point...
And the bacteria that like to eat the animal products are different than the bacteria that like to eat the plants that are probably more plant beneficial.
You know, prions could be described as, John, the forever chemical version of the organic byproducts industry. That's what they are. Prions are the forever chemical of the organic industry. Anything from an animal slaughterhouse. I'm looking at you. All of the big brands too. At Home Depot and my local favorite grocery store. God bless Monster Gardens too. The whole industry too. Not a single one-stop shop, veg or bloom specific top dressing product. What Boogie Brew has always prescribed. Until a Josh, who is more passionate and dedicated to the health is wealth principle of life than I am. On your level, bro. Challenged me a year ago. Come up with a vegan Boogie Bloom. Shame on me for selling X number of pounds, buying super totes, bro.
Super totes.
I bought 2,000 pounds of this stuff.
Contributing to animal slaughterhouses.
Maybe 10% of it is their byproduct. The other stuff is the seabird guano. Well, tell me that's sustainable. Come on. Bringing it up from rocks in the ocean off of Chile or from wherever. How is that sustainable to feed a voracious U.S.
And we're
buying
running out of
market.
it. We're
Right.
running out of it.
That isn't sustainable either.
Not sustainable.
And what Josh, more dedicated than me, and I'm so proud to finally plug you, Josh, my health hero, and thank you for getting out of the oil patch in Texas and moving you and your family to a better future, which is a future free of detrients, free of the chemotocracy, free of that oil patch, and free of animal slaughterhouse mentality.
Josh, so how did you come up with this vegan, no animal product bloom?
Josh, you're in this video now. You're the reason, you and a few others who gently suggested I go this, you know what I mean? I interviewed Steve Cantwell. It's probably the most powerful interview I've ever done, including
it's on your channel, right?
Right, including
link
my
down below to
environmentalist
that
video.
one.
And I watched him too hold a whole hippie, spellbound, living soil audience, you know, transfixed. And I've witnessed what TD does without anything that he needs to not buy. And so I came up with, for those of you that need it, that where the 9/11 rule applies and your plants are desperately hungry because you don't have what I mentioned earlier, TD spoiled with its rich megabiome holes. Let's say you're in a fabric 10-gallon pot, right? Like a dude I visited in Marin County the other day, whose plants were desperately in first aid need. And by the way, I'll throw some more pictures on there, the recovery story, I heard about that. But, okay, clean, green, lean, veganic bloom feeding machine. That's what this is all about. We apologize for such a long chemotocracy and animal slaughterhouse, both of us bashing it with equal ferociousness. And the stupidity of feeding when some company tells you to. Again, link below to the 9/11 video. All right, don't be fooled. It's marketing madness. You feed your plants when they tell you to. And TD will 100% agree with me. And I'm going there tonight with Leah to prove that. All right? So that's what this package is about.
All right, Josh, so what are each of these ingredients in the package and how do they serve to replace the slaughterhouse industry products?
And I believe these are going to work really well. And I kind of wish TD had a hungry plant that I could kind of do a side-by-side, you know, demo comparison. And you know what? This will actually work really well. I'm not going to lie. If you don't care about the morality of supporting an animal slaughterhouse industry, then I guess this and the rainbow mix will actually work pretty well. They will. They will, with a bit of the evil, you know, going on. But again, Josh, the vegan hero, and a future.
We're going to provide you guys options because nobody else is.
And I think this will work better.
Better.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what do we got? We got Boogie Brew compost tea. We got some yeast. We got the vegan mix. We got some pure kelp. We got some Boogie Black. We got some sucanat, and we got some Boogie Brick. So how is this used,
come on.
and what's up with it?
A vegan smorgasbord of just high P, high K, you know, feeding goodness. That's what we got here. Tea to activate it all. All right, you already know about Boogie Brew. This acts as the activator. Generally, by the time you realize, following the 9/11 rules, that your plants need a little something that isn't detrient, that's organic, and that's going to make the buds taste amazing, not need you to have to worry about flushing. All the 9/11 rules, again, link below for the umpteenth time, all right? Applying those now with a sensible vegan consciousness, all right? Okay, good old yeast.
So what's up with the yeast? I'm going to show everybody while you talk about it, man.
Dude,
so what's up with the yeast? Like, why is the yeast beneficial?
Dude, I mean, I researched yeast, right? And well, you know what? We'll put a little kind of document link, a Google Doc link that I have.
This is the yeast right here.
Yeasty goodness. So high in, this is the highest phosphorus yeast I could find.
High phosphorus yeast right here. Instead of
instead of this, go for the yeast every day. If those flowers truly need, if they need, people, a phosphorus boost, a P boost, just get it from yeast. And you don't need to buy it from Boogie Brew. You can go down to your local health food store and buy it in bulk. All right?
Make sure if you guys get the health food store, make sure you guys get the one that's non-fortified. They'll add different vitamins in there. And this is a brewer's yeast, right? Not a nutritional yeast.
You know what? We
and I mean, once again, and the other thing is that Josh Art has found, the exact one has a perfect.
Well, I found a high phosphorus one,
Phosphorus.
but they're all high phosphorus, and I disagree with him. That's where the detrients in vitamin form are fed to the yeast, which then digest them. The yeast 500 you're talking about, which is in my original Boogie Brew, link below.
But see.
To the compost tea,
the yeast will
source.
make vitamins, but then some yeast for human consumption will add additional sprayed on vitamins.
They do. That's
to
how
it.
they make the yeast. Well,
we don't want that. We don't want the fortified. We don't want fortified yeast. We want an unfortified yeast. Very important.
I think a yeast 500 it will work fine. Again, the French trust the couples who squabble.
Unfortified, guys.
All right. So the non-fortified yeast, which is what this one is, but it doesn't matter. High phosphorus brewer's yeast. That's what you want. Okay. That's so much better than your bone meal or any other high P. I'm telling you, so available, especially when it's activated by your teeth.
Because it's already broken down by the yeast.
The yeast
it's
pretty much pre-digested. And if you need to hit your plants with a heavy dose of P, come on.
So what's the application rate, man? How would somebody do that?
I'm going to say, again, be a field-based farmer. So 1 teaspoon per gallon of soil. But
is that stuff soluble, or what do you do?
No, this is not 100% soil.
I know.
But you know what? You scratch it in and you activate it with your tea. Or you could add it to the tea at the end of the brewing cycle. You could do either or. I would scratch it in. 1 teaspoon. This is for the people that need it. Now, once you get to TD level and you have a 200 gallon, I'm not asking TD to put 200 teaspoons on there. No way. He just needs to feed the immediate feeder zone. Right around
where the roots are, not right at the base, guys.
Right,
hopefully, unless you're growing crap plants.
And that's if he needed it to begin with, which he doesn't, right? Because the soil, the whole biome is already giving his plants clearly everything they need, and he's really determined to prove that. And obviously, I'm not going to credit Boogie Brew, but he's been doing a lot of our.
And you should have been using Boogie Brew during the whole process, not just to activate the freaking yeast, guys, because that builds your soil microbiome so that it's digesting constantly, and your plants are sucking up the nutrients from the organic matter and the minerals in the soil.
Every time we've tested it, the results come back different on the NPK.
Didn't you get a new test recently, Josh?
But it's always been a flowering focused formula.
Flowering FFF.
Right, it has always been FBA. And so by feeding this regularly to his plants,
it's going to help it flower right
why
there.
would he then need to go in and add all of this? And this is a vegan tea. All right, so it's truly, that's the first year I can remember that he's done a one-stop shop. Now, most of his teas, he mentioned in a video he did with you recently, have just been the workhorse teas, because I urged him to do that. But still, 1 out of 2 or 3 are Boogie Brew. Because we sponsor him. I mean, come on, he's a legend. If there's
I only use Boogie Brew. I am sponsored.
Barely. I mean,
barely.
Seriously, I give TD more tea than you. Sorry to admit it.
Well, I don't use that much tea as much as TD.
Right, that's true.
I should
right,
be.
Right, amen. And I mean, I'm not getting rich, by the way, from doing this business. But I love the audience you all are. Way more than the money I don't get to keep. The more Boogie sales I do, you've heard me say this in videos with John before, the more back taxes I owe. Long ago I realized when you're self-employed, respect your self-limits. I'm trying to keep Boogie Brew a small business, and thanks to you all, and such a wonderful permacultural audience as you all are, and I owe you all for the therapy. But again...
So Josh, how often do they put in the yeast? Like one-time application?
Yeah, one time.
One time, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, a teaspoon per gallon of soil. Oh, yeah. So for your typical...
Teaspoon a gallon of soil.
Well, okay, I'm going to base this off my bro in Marin that his plants really needed a little something. He had the choice of buying the Rainbow Mix has now been discontinued in California, but something like this... with the guanos and some feather meal and bone meal all wrapped into what is a good overall organic formula. But again, I asked him to do this, and he did, and the turnaround was dramatic.
Yeah, before and after?
I do. So, his, the yeast, and then the PKD. Now we talked all about the yeast and the amount of phosphorus that's in it. You're also going to need, of course, an appropriate amount of really good available potassium, NPK, P and K in blue.
Yeah, and this is 0020. You guys can see it's just
Amazing
black.
product.
This stuff will stain things. I've been using it lately in my garden to feed.
And TD's using it.
Yeah.
And again, I'll show that image, the image of that one flower.
Yeah, this is soluble kelp.
PKD.
Yep.
Thank you for negotiating a great price on that for us. And to back it all up, to give...
So how does somebody use this, Josh? What do they do?
Oh, that is strong. I would not do more than just a pinch.
A pinch?
Oh, yeah. That stuff's powerful, dude. That's some water-soluble 0020, like instantly available. Don't forget, Boogie Brew already has Maxi Crop, which is the 0017 equivalent of this, in it. And if you're activating these things in this bloom box we've put together, then...
And you're going to have instructions in the bloom box, of course,
yep,
right?
Of course, yeah. Well, and you should have your editor put a PDF link.
Well,
Yep.
I'll put the link down below.
I'll get you a good, detailed instruction for FBFing, for 9/11 rule following, and for the size of plant, the size of the container it's in, whether it's in the ground, whether it's in a pot, or so on. All of those variables, I will do my best to bring you the best FBF instructions, okay? And that's the thing, you follow some deadriant company's guidelines, you go by some, manufacturer's feeding schedule, you're setting yourself up for failure. You
gotta feed your plants what they need when they need it, not just like when you think they need it. Right. That's how people mess up.
All of this is contingent upon following those 9/11 rules to begin with. I would say a 1/4 teaspoon per gallon, not even, just a pinch, like salt on food. Literally, come on. It's soluble super kelp, man. Now this, a little more liberal, okay, the vegan mix.
So this is the vegan mix.
Yeah, which is
my
my
favorite. Vegan mix
favorite.
from Down to Earth, and then he's going to ship it to you guys like this in a 3 pound. So, Josh, what's in the vegan mix and why do you like it so much?
You got your soy meal, your camelina meal. You've just got an awesome all around. What is in this? Here, you read those ingredients. The lighting's a bit dim in here. All I know is there's no animal slaughterhouse.
All right, there's the mix. All vegan, all from plants or rocks or minerals.
Thank you.
Nothing from animals, which is rare. It's rare to find a plant-based fertilizer, right? For those of you guys that want to live by the vegan ideals of doing the least amount of harm as much as practicable and possible, and Down to Earth is making it possible for you guys.
Thank you, Down to Earth. You've been my best vendor for 14 years of doing Boogie Brew, easily the most popular online compost tea. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you, DTE, for having the balls to release years ago
before its time.
Such an underappreciated product. Here, read those ingredients. Everything's organic. Everything's like, even the organic soy meal that's in there.
Soy meal, canola meal, alfalfa meal, rock phosphate, langbonite, green sand, and kelp meal. Also contains plant food ingredients, humic acid derived from leonardite.
Just a simple, clean, green, vegan, all around nourishing machine of nutrient goodness. So simple. It's too simple, John.
And then how much does somebody add of this stuff, man?
Okay, so that I would be a bit more liberal. I'd go back to the brewer's yeast, kind of a tablespoon.
This is not immediately absorbable, unlike the kelp.
But the tea's going to digest.
But yeah, of course.
And if you're doing a living soil to begin with, and you're doing decor,
and you already got everything in there, it's going to absorb a lot quicker.
If you've got a microbial matrix that's ready, again, 9/11 rules, if you've got root zone rhizospheres that are ready, this will melt. This will melt right in. Yes, the pea that's in the brewer's yeast will probably release a little, I'm going to say, as an FBFer.
Because it's broken down a little bit quicker from the yeast.
Exactly, it's being pre-digested.
Pre-digested by the Cerevisiae cerevisiae.
I was, if there's, God bless DTE for even making a legit vegan all-around top dressing. I mean, come on, let's be real.
Before its time.
Way before its time. No, they're awesome, and they are dedicated to anything anti-CAFO, concentrated animal feeding lots. I've talked to, enough of my friends at Down to Earth over the years to realize they're not a sellout to the chemotocracy.
So then how much does somebody add of this?
So again, I would
Just sprinkle it, top dress it, like scratch it in the top.
Again, we'll have more
Root zone.
You're going to help me figure out these instructions. You're going to demo all of this in your garden. And I would do it around the same as the brewer's yeast, around a teaspoon per gallon of soil. That's plenty. That really is. Again, and only in situations where the 9/11 rules dictate the need for these
feeding.
to begin with.
Right. Don't just liberally put it on because you think you need it.
Don't go in there because you're in week 2 now into flower.
And you're freaking out.
Right. I mean, make sure you test that runoff. Follow the 9/11 rules. But then, once you've added this might only be a 1 or at the max 2 time shot throughout your whole blooming cycle.
So you really, I mean, like one of these will last like a couple seasons.
Exactly. Less is more.
For sure.
We tried to do this package based on, you did that video with us with Boogie Brew's most sensible, price-sensitive shipping solution. So this is a 20-pounder.
All this stuff is 20 pounds.
19, and we give you a non-veganic option. We're going to get to that.
All right, so cool. So we're up to everything, Josh. Now we're at the Boogie Black, which actually I put in every transplant hole when I transplant. Actually, I got a funny story for you, Josh.
How do they like that?
Oh, they love it, man. So, and actually,
That's
this
kind
year
of strong to put right into the transplant.
No. I mixed this with rock dust, worm castings, soil humates.
How small are these transplants? They're just your little.
They're small, but dude, I just put like a tablespoon of these things mixed.
Table?
No, it's a percentage of this. I don't have a lot of this stuff, so it's like mostly castings.
Okay.
Like 75. I mean, link down below to my video what I put in my transplant holes because evidently he hasn't watched it. But nonetheless, part of it.
Shame on me.
Part of it is this. But the funny thing is, Josh, like lately in Vegas, we've been having mosquitoes, which is not a fun thing because I moved to Vegas, so we don't have mosquitoes, we don't have mold, we don't have all these. But the mosquitoes have invaded Vegas. And the funny thing is, I mixed up a batch of my transplant solution, which include the black frash, worm castings, rock dust.
All in dry form.
Not
making a tea.
Not making a tea. No. In a bucket, mixed it up, right? And then the next day, mosquitoes were all over the top of that.
Interesting.
Like they were just going off, and then I reach into it, and it's warm. It's actually composting.
Ooh.
So it's breaking down even further because all the microbes that are in there are digesting and breaking it out further. So when I put it in my transplant holes, my plants will dance more. Now the other thing I did, like I learned that mosquitoes, right? I mean, maybe when it's digesting, it's putting off CO2 potentially. But the other thing I've learned is that mosquitoes are attracted to heat. So this also, as it's composting, is generating heat. So then what I did was I put basically a mosquito trap that sucks them in on top of it. So now that as it's composting, it's making it more nutritious. And I'm trapping the mosquitoes and sucking them in because they're attracted to it for whatever reason.
You're making lemonade out of the lemony situation of Las Vegas.
But I don't think if I just had the worm castings and the rock dust, that wouldn't have happened. But it's because of adding the frass, it just boom.
It gave it that thermogenic factor.
Exactly.
Interesting. And that's about 10% of that teaspoon of mix.
I mean,
it's a video.
Yeah,
shame on me.
I just dump a bunch in there and like, this is what's going in this batch. But
that's awesome.
But
see, now there is a world-class example of someone who happens to have one of the most dedicated.
Oh, and I wanted to say, Josh, like I think maybe like there's maybe 4 plants in my garden this year that I have aphid issues with. Right. So, and all of them, the other ones don't. Like, there's one plant will get, an okra, a salad tree has aphid issues, but none of my other okras.
Well, you always have to have a few.
And there's always some that are just not going to be as strong as the other ones. And of course, I believe the black frass is a big reason why I don't have major bug issues in general. In my garden. I believe it works.
In general, as I said, a world-class example of someone who happens to have one of the best channels, if not the best channel ever on gardening, to be an FBF or a field-based farmer. No amount of Dedrian or otherwise manufacturers suggested feeding schedules.
I just do when I got time.
Right. Which is never, as we're eating too much of it up now. you know, just yes, you got to get to supersets, a busy new dad. But that's amazing, and the amount of feedback I get on the Boogie Black, and that's why we give away more of it than we sell. Always adding that.
And how did somebody use this, Josh? I mean, you're giving just a small little bag here in this package.
I would add that to the tea.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best use.
Bing, bing.
I mean, if you got more of it, you could put it in every transplant hole. But you want to add it at the how do you add this?
Well, in Boogie Brew's case, at hour 18.
Hour 18, and then you brew for 24, right?
Right, but if it's a workhorse tea that demands a 36 or even a 48-hour cycle to begin with, just add it with 6 hours to go.
And then how much would they put in if they're brewing a 5-gallon bucket?
Another half to 1 cup.
A half to 1 cup of the black brass.
Yeah, and man, you know what I mean? Like, this covers a lot of bases, brother. And this is all TD's been doing along with workhorse.
And TD has been doing that.
Right,
so successfully clues.
Follow those bloody clues, exactly. So yeah, I would actually, we kind of, but you know, if you needed to, if your plants are really hungry, and you know, you can also do that with this. You can just
add that in at the end.
And maybe even put, or even earlier, because it's not going to upset the nitrogen balance in the tea. So you could add it earlier. I mean, don't forget Maxi Crop is already, just to keep things simple.
I didn't show you guys the black frass.
Oh yeah, the black frass, yeah.
I love how this stuff smells personally. Doesn't smell like other frasses.
Which we have videos of him saying.
And them smell like ass. Like this one feels nice and earthy. Like almost I could eat it, but I wouldn't.
we didn't even open up the PKG. You should take this back and feed it to your peppers, and they'll finish up beautifully.
Yeah, I mean I showed it through the package. I'll show you guys.
Bring this to Superset.
All right.
Since I opened it, I can't sell it anymore.
Yeah. All right, here I'll show you guys this stuff. This stuff is extremely dusty. I mean, my bag got a hole in it. I mean, look at that. This is a solid black. Freaking gold right there.
At last year's Heirloom Expo, this gentleman right here, and with no financial incentive on his own other than trying to get you the best deal, negotiated the best ever deal with OAP and Boogie Brew.
For the kelp.
I mean, this is
a game-changing product, guys, from the ocean.
Well, there's other kelps. You know, there's the Kraken kelp. Remember that one from a different species. But for your most common,
but dude, this is a high K, man, through natural methods from a plant food.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean for the price he was able.
And the price, yeah,
he got us a great deal. We'll probably have this in Boogie Brew and not do Maxi Crop because. Thank you, Organic Ag Products, by the way, for getting us this great deal on the amazing high K, super soluble kelp. I wouldn't do more than a 1/4 teaspoon per gallon of your, theoretically, I'm talking 10 to 20 gallon pot that's already starving to begin with. That's what this is all about. This is mostly for you, more mobile, you know, ninja level, smaller pot. Let's be honest, container gardeners, okay? Yeah, in the holes, at some point, TD's gonna need a boost. He's already getting it all of it in the tea. And he does it in the off season. Last year, he didn't even do a cover crop. I think we're gonna report on it. What he's planning on doing is some vegan mix, throw it in, add some clover. You know, get a cover crop going in there. So that's the opposite of what they're all telling you to do with their schedule.
Less is more.
You know, feed the soil. Do it Steve Cantwell style. He's feeding the soil. He doesn't give a damn about what his pot plants are going to do another 10 months yonder, right? He's feeding that soil base that he knows they're all going to really benefit from in September of the following year, okay? He's doing that in November, December, January, depending on your microclimates and so
being
on.
proactive about your soil, working it in advance of your grow instead of reactive like, oh man, I need to have some stuff for flower now. No, you should have did that like last season, be building your soil all along. I mean, I do that. I'd build my soil every single day of the year.
Steve Cantwell says, make your soil your #1 cash crop. Whatever plants you put in it, they will then dance. All Boogie Brew is a high-octane fuel additive for the main horsepower, which is that soil engine, TD's, and everyone else who knows how to do it, who's a true FBFer, a dedicated living soil practitioner. They've already done it months ahead of time. Prepped those holes with everything they need and nothing they don't.
All right, Josh, so we got one more ingredient. We got the sucanat here, and we got the Boogie Bricks. So, I mean, we'll pour out some sucanat for you guys. I mean, basically, this stuff is
link to
sugar.
Link to the sugar episode. All right, this is the one.
I mean, this stuff smells sweet right here.
That's the workhorse microbial superfood. That is.
I don't think you guys should eat it.
Oh, it's a great sugar.
You can put it in your soil.
If you're gonna eat sugar, that's the sugar. That's raw, whole.
If you're gonna eat sugar, eat date sugar. Link down below to my video where I bought every date sugar on Amazon, reviewed it for you guys.
We should do a comparison.
But I wouldn't use date sugar in your garden. It takes longer to break down.
Give us your feedback. What gives you more crystals, date sugar or sucanat? Now he's already TD.
I would say the sucanat actually,
I would.
but for us, I would say date sugar's healthier.
Well, okay, I would agree. Okay, so this is where what's great.
Water, once again, this is water soluble. Date sugar is not.
Yeah, but again, if you've already prepped your holes and that whole living,
you don't even need it.
Right, you don't need it. You've already the microbes already have.
You don't need it, but
they
if you want to put something extra because you think you need it.
Earlier we're saying the link to the 9/11 video. Now it's linked to the sugar video.
Yeah, epic sugar video link down below. Everything you guys need to know.
You know, if your plants already have the main course, why are you trying to suffocate them with dessert?
Right. Agreed.
Sugars are kind of silly. But they've been so impregnated.
Everybody thinks you need to add sugar.
Well, sometimes you do. Because you have deprived the microbial horsepower, right? To begin with that engine. Again,
so if you're not doing field-based farming and you're just growing the traditional way, then yes, you probably will need some sugar. But if you're just doing it the natural way, the way you should be growing, probably never even need the sugar.
You wouldn't need the bloom box to begin with if you're not a container farmer who's been limited. So we figure why not throw in some sensible sugar, which is the sucanat. Again, link below to sensible sugar video. But again,
you don't need it.
You don't need it if you've done everything right to begin with. These are all completely optional, but very clean, green, and very effective microbial powerhouse machines, if you will, of that instantaneous. Okay, 9/11 rules, they need the food. Okay, they need a little more microbial activity. At the end of the flowering cycle, even TD's plants, John, will be somewhat depleted of microbial activity. In other words, he's tuned it all, beginning way back with cover crops and that whole engine, you know, and the biochar being in there and so on, to be a marathon runner that at the end is pretty exhausted, extracting every last ounce of glucose energy out of the mitochondria, in this case for a marathon runner, the muscle, you know, fuel system, the human, what do you call it, cyclic amp. But in this case, cyclic amp applied to plants. So even in TD's case, that's why he's still using, like already on Guzzlers, he's using molasses.
Oh, he's using molasses?
No, but that's because I'm a stoner and didn't get him sucanat in time.
Wow.
But he's going to switch to the sucanat I did get him, for the girl that's now an indica, more indica dominant, not sativa, and also flowering. I forget which one it is, but he's going to do that. I mean, it's pretty hard for him to do a side-by-side when he has 6 different strains to begin with, or 5.
I mean, honestly, Josh, I think that a sucanat molasses blend with both will be the best of both worlds.
There you go.
Because more different arrangements of minerals. Why I have to say this is better than that? My, you know what is bigger than yours? Like, no, both.
Any plant late. Last 2-3 weeks, a sugar flush, again, sensibly applied. Don't overwhelm them with dessert when they already still are digesting that main course. It's just going to help.
All right.
And we just don't want people buying plastic jugs. And just being sensible about when they use it. And this you can be more liberal with. So we added 3 pounds of sucanat. And just for shits and giggles, excuse my French YouTube, because you all seem to insist on buying my bricks with the soy aminos added, with the equivalent of this, with the maxi crop, you know, with some high octane goodies added, the Boogie Bricks, we threw in a pound of this. But you can clearly tell what I want you to use, which is sucanat.
Yeah, you guys should do some side-by-sides. I think his bricks is going to perform better because, once again, you got a more different mixture.
Well, yeah, so you would do a teaspoon a gallon of this and just a quarter teaspoon of bricks.
Wow, so it's way more concentrated.
Yeah, and again, not constantly. Be an FBFer. Tell me.
It's probably best to mix it up. One time use this, one time use that. See how your plants react more. Some plants might like this one, some plants might like that one.
John, I've learned more from you.
FBF.
I've learned you all. I've learned from you all more in 14 years about compost tea, about frass, about vegan top dressings. Thank you, Josh. The more I think I know, the more I don't know. When I started Boogie Brew, I thought I knew everything about compost teas, and you all have taught me so much more. But just to wrap up the whole sugar thing, your plants are now, ideally, they've actually used up whatever microbial activity has been made available to them, whether it be a TD monster-sized hole in the ground or your little 10-gallon, fabric pot outside. And that to get that boost, to get them across the marathon runner's finishing line, giving them sugars at the end is absolutely beneficial. Why? Because it causes a massive boost in microbial activity in what is otherwise a tired biosphere, a tired rhizome, a tired root zone, everything kind of drained, right? And you're giving them that last little microbial, they love it, right? And by the way, a pinch of salt or the soluble kelp, all right? That's sweet and salty. Just go watch the sugar video, all right? At the end, right? Less is more. Give them those finishing sugar hits, like he said, that punch to get them over the finishing line, whether it's your best favorite, ideally organic, non-GMO molasses, hopefully not in a plastic jug, or my favorite, the workhorse microbial superfood of choice, which is sucanat. That's in our original, 500,000 and strong open source compost tea videos. And what really powers this? It's a protein powered formula, vegan proteins. But, the sugar's crucial too. The sucanat that's in Boogie Brew.
It's all crucial, all the ingredients in there, man. Link down below to our original video.
Right.
Open source compost tea.
Open source compost tea. So
you guys can make your own Boogie Brew and actually not have to buy Josh's product if you want to.
Which you will realize how I'm not getting wealthy when you see the economics that go into this 18 ingredient vegan formula. But it's still the sugar I trust. And even a new and improved Boogie Brew, whatever, that comes down the pipeline, I can't. Maybe coconut sugar, maybe we'll make it sexier with a coconut sugar, because that's great for microbes, but I can't see straying from sucanat. So thank you, sucanat, for being a microbe herding powerhouse, super sugar, biome stimulating, carbohydrate feast. That's from sustainably farmed sugar, organically grown sugarcane and dehydrated whole raw juice. Thank you, sucanat. I love sucanat. Cannot sing its praises, its microbe stimulating praises high enough.
So Josh, this whole kit, you guys are going to hook up my viewers with a special price. And then where they get that price?
boogiebrew.net/GYG.
Link down below. Now, Josh, this kit is at 19 pounds, and you ship it in this box here.
I just grabbed it. Here's your 10-10-10. I mean, we had a whole Boogie shipping economics episode.
This is less expensive to ship you when you ship it in a box. It's 20 pounds.
I mean, come on, guys. I'm doing your brown bag special here, okay? I'm bulking everything out. Even the vegan mix that I buy in bulk from Down to Earth is going to be repacked into my bio bags, all right? All of this, I'm trying to get you your 20-pound. I'm not doing 3 sizes no more. If you want my bloom box, if your plants need it, it's a 20-pounder, 10-10-10. Thank you, U.S. Postal, for doing this. All right? So cool. Right now we're at 19. Okay?
We're at 19, so that means, Josh, you've got one extra pound.
1 pound, yeah.
You could fill in there, and this is an optional amendment that you can buy also, and actually, it's been sitting off to the side here, but Josh, this is not vegan. Why are you including an organic egg product, the same company that actually makes the pure kelp dry and the pure protein? This is the Primo Hydrolysate 5714. Why would somebody need this?
They don't, but it's honestly, I don't think they do, but this is a very popular product. And you all, like I told you, have taught me more about my own products in 14 years of selling Boogie Brew. You really have. So just based on its popularity, the amount of resells we get on this, and the amount, especially this time of year in bloom season, that we're selling of the 5714 Primo Hydrolysate, this is, you know, it's a powerful product. Now, what makes it non-vegan, of course, is the pure protein content that's in there. This is not pure protein. Pure protein is... Sorry for getting out of the camera thing. Pure protein is 1511. It's a totally water-soluble, organically grown, like sustainably harvested and raised cod fish hydrolysate.
And that's
100%.
made for, it's not a factory farm fish.
Right,
This is the guts. This is actually grown for making the pure protein.
Very unique product in that the foods that are fed to the cod that are fed sustainably in ponds to begin with are also organic. Very strict. The protocols on the production of this, still to this day, my favorite ever ag product.
So if you got to use a non-vegan product, I mean, that would be it.
Or even any product. Even
Any
my own,
product.
even the BB. Even
Yeah, I
the
mean,
Boogie
here's
Brew.
the thing, guys. Like, I went to Puerto
This
Rico.
stuff, dude. I mean,
I went to Puerto Rico, and the 2 fertilizers John Kohler took, I took these 2.
you know, it's like cheating when
Because these are both water soluble, and I can get these in the soil. The plants will immediately respond, even faster than compost tea, which then I need to bring.
You didn't have
compost tea
time to
brewers
clean
and all
your.
these other
You didn't
things.
have time to clean.
I just
up
put this in a watering can I literally bought from Home Depot with the water, mix it up, and then pour it into my plants. Because I mean, I'm like literally at this point off the grid. I don't have a water spigot or anything.
You need a 12-volt powered Boogie Brew.
Well, yeah, I don't have anything.
Right,
so
right.
I mean, this is what I brought, guys. I brought both these because it could get my plants some nutrients easily, quickly, plus take less weight in my luggage.
And you know, exactly, like, just text me on the Boogie line or email us at boogiebrew@gmail.com, and we'll send you a little propaganda piece on pure protein and how guerrilla growers in the patch, all right? John's not a guerrilla grower trying to do like monster-sized, like TD-sized cannabis trees out in the Los Padres National Forest. But that's who were using this 10 years ago in the Caliwana days, and they didn't have... They're out in the boonies. How are they going to lug a compost tea brewer up there? And all they did was foliar feast with this. So it's still my favorite ever ag product. If you stranded me, you've heard me say this, how many videos with you?
Too many.
All right. On a desert island, Josh, the boogie boy himself. Would I take the BB or the PP if I'm only allowed one product with a pistole put to the boogie boy's head? I'd have to pick the pure protein.
But just why would somebody get this instead of the pure protein?
Well, this is not pure protein. We're just mentioning
Why would somebody
the
buy
heritage.
this one, which is the Primo Hydrolysate, versus the pure protein?
By the way, in flower, up until a month to go, you can spray safely with the 1511, high nitrogen, pure protein, all aminos. The plants will continue to use the aminos they need all the way until you really don't want to spray nothing no more, where it's no water, no fog, no moisture on those delicate white hairs, okay? So the pure protein, it's really beneficial every 2 weeks as a foliar super feast until the point where you decide as an FBFer you don't spray anymore. Now, this is not soluble. This is not my foliar feast favorite. Now we're getting
that's a lower end.
Right, now there is some pure protein in it, and that's why I brought up the whole little PP propaganda piece right there. All right, so this as a top dressing that's obviously well-rounded, like we're trying to achieve with your high phosphorus yeast, your all-around vegan mix, and your high K here. This kind of gives you all of those in a one-stop
In one
shop.
stop.
Yeah. If you're willing to not be vegan about it, that's why I wanted to elaborate on how the codfish, you're not supporting CAFO when you do the codfish hydrolysate. Okay? So I draw the line. You know, Josh, now in Idaho, previously in Texas, would care enough about the lives, as you would, of these codfish and would not use this. So this is optional.
Well,
You
I
still
do
have
the best I can, as you know, as much as I can practice, as much as practicable and possible.
You know how
like,
clean and green
my
this
goal is to not use pure protein, but I, on rare occasion, will use it.
a few times in a season, and it works.
I think this season it's only like maybe twice.
Maybe next season we'll do a demo where you do some without any PP at all, and you prove me wrong about it being my favorite ag product of all time. So this is an optional non-veganic add-on.
And then you could add it on, so you could get the best of both worlds. You could get the veganic plus the non-veganic.
And again...
And this is 3 ingredients, and only one is pure protein. The other ones would be considered veganic.
Right. What are they? They're the rock phosphate and the... what else is in there?
Yeah, protein,
sulfate.
hydrolysate, rock phosphate, and potassium sulfate.
Which you can obtain those from other places as well.
Right.
So
this is the optional add-on.
To bridge it, or the way to get it to 20 pounds is just add a note that you want a 1 pound bonus bag of whatever, frass or sample tea. You tell me. Just add it on GYGers in the notes. Make it stoner proof so we see it. Leah suffers OCSD, obsessive compulsive shipping disorder, and when she sees that note from a GYGer that we promised you that last bonus pound that you didn't purchase, the non-vegan 5714, we'll give it to you anyway with some free frass or free sample tea.
I'd say get the frass.
I'd say get the sample tea.
I'd say get the frass. No, man, you got the tea.
That's true. You got 100 gallons right here to activate all of these. And the whole point of tea being included with all this is because for all of this to really work,
you need the tea.
You don't need it, but it's really going to help to activate it all. It really is.
I mean, they should have been already doing the tea anyways.
It's a flower-based tea.
Yeah. All right, cool, Josh. Are there any final words of wisdom you'd like to share with my viewers today before we sign off?
I just appreciate you all for the therapy you've given me. Those are my words of wisdom. Keep doing what you're all doing, what I suspect you're all doing, which is being, what he said earlier, way ahead of your time. We appreciate you so much. And thank you for continuing to do this. He's not making money off his channel. He's doing it as a labor of love. We're a community, and you're the best emotional reward Boogie Brew could ever be prouder of. We appreciate you so much.
All right, cool, Josh. Thank you. So if anybody wants to get this package, make sure you guys use the link down below, boogiebrew.net/GYG to get the special negotiated
Not to interrupt.
hookup price.
Sorry to interrupt. One more thing. I want your feedback on this. I did my best to please the most ardent, health is wealth, cleaner, greener, non-slaughterhouse. Thank you, Josh, one last time, Vegan Josh, for encouraging me to put this together. All right, so I want your feedback. What else? Or what am I missing? What changes? You tell me, because I've learned more from you all. Sorry, John. Go back to wrapping it up.
All right, so once again, link down below to buy the products. And if you guys enjoyed this episode and want more videos with Josh and John rambling as frenemies, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. More importantly, share this with other growers so that they can learn about organic, veganic alternatives so they don't have to use animal slaughterhouse byproducts in their garden. Something that we are very passionate about.
Field-based farming without, it's just clean green. Thank you so much, for help. This is a movement. You all are taking this forward. The whole new frontiers of agriculture in front of us. We appreciate your participation in this adventure.
Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new and upcoming episodes of Commander 5 to 7 days you're going to show up. What you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. Be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 1,700 episodes at this time on this channel dedicated to you guys all about how to grow the best fruits and vegetables at home, including herbs. And also be sure to check out Josh's channel at Boogie Brew on YouTube so you can get all of TD's updates and see what the heck that guy is doing.
I'm going over there tonight.
All right, so with that, my name is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep on growing.